Xbox Game Pass will reach 100 million members. Alright guys, before we get into this, please consider hitting that subscribe button if you enjoy what you see throughout this video. So Xbox Game Pass, since its announcement, since its launch, has continuously grown. It has continuously got better with the amount of content on there. And obviously the biggest draw to it is getting access to that day one Xbox Game Studio content that, yes, in 2022 we haven't seen yet, but we saw lots in 2021. And we are going to continue to see tons of great games coming out from Xbox Game Studios 2023 and beyond. And then there was the purchase of Bethesda, which just really adds to the amount of content that is going to be available on the service, the amount of hype and the amount of people that will want to sign up to Xbox Game Pass to experience those Bethesda games. And then recently, the most recent acquisition, the Activision Blizzard deal, which hasn't gone through yet, but should be going through sometime soon, is going to continue to add content and going to continue to draw people over to the Xbox ecosystem. And because of this, the famous Michael Pachter, the games analyst, the industry analyst who makes tons of claims about wild stuff that he thinks is going to happen within the video game industry. One of his most recent ones was that PlayStation was going to no longer be the same PlayStation going forward in about 10 years or so, which I actually fully agree with when I think about it. The fact that PlayStation is completely changing their model. They are moving away from console exclusivity, as we're seeing with the PlayStation Plus changes and getting more into the subscription. They are going to be following directly along the lines of what Xbox is doing. So I think he is correct about that. But he is here making another claim, and this time it's about Xbox Game Pass and how many members he thinks Xbox Game Pass is going to reach. So here is what he says. They bought Bethesda, which is a giant studio, and now they're buying Activision. When they're done, they are the fourth major game publisher in the US, so they're going to be giant, and they're going to be in a position to actually support their subscription. Their future vision is, let's eliminate the console, let's use the cloud, and let's deliver games to any screen that you have. And that potential market is 3.5 billion people. So I don't think they'll get that many subscribers, but will they go from 25 million to 100 million? Yes. So there you have it. There's his claim, going from 25 million to 100 million. Right now we know Xbox Game Pass is somewhere around 25 million, probably higher than that, probably closer to 30 million if I were to take a guess. They didn't give us their most recent numbers at their financial earnings call, but I'm assuming they have grown since the last time we heard that they were at 25 million subscribers. Can they reach 100 million? I actually agree with Michael here. I think that at some point they will be able to reach that 100 million, especially after the Activision Blizzard deal closes, with games like Call of Duty, games like Diablo, games like Overwatch, all coming in to Xbox Game Pass. That's going to be a massive draw for people to want to jump into this service. I mean, Call of Duty is the biggest one. With the upcoming Modern Warfare 2, if they're able to get that game onto Xbox Game Pass when this deal closes, if it closes before the end of the year, you'll see just a massive jump in Xbox Game Pass subscribers. And speaking of when this deal closes, Michael Pachter actually also thinks that it's going to be able to close before the end of this year, which would be massive. And I've said this multiple times, Xbox, if this deal closes before the end of the year, they need to do what they have to do to get Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 onto Xbox Game Pass, whether that's breaking the PlayStation exclusivity deal, because we know that is a thing, and we've seen the fact that the beta is starting within PlayStation. If that means they have to pay a couple $1 million, they have to do that. But he says here, what the FTC will likely do and should do is seek an agreement with Microsoft and enter into a consent decree, not block the merger, not sue to block the merger. And the consent decree will say, we're not going to raise game prices or the cost of the console, and we're absolutely going to continue to support PlayStation with Activision games. If they get that, this deal sails through. And in terms of when he thinks it's going to close, he says October is kind of when the FTC has to fish or cut bait. So if they don't take any action by the end of that month, he thinks Microsoft will announce that the deal is done by the end of 2022 or January 15th at the latest. So that is some pretty optimistic news if you are hoping this deal gets done soon. Let's say, for example, this deal closes a month after Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 releases. To me, you still got to put that into Game Pass right away just to get people hyped up for the end of 2022, with right now no first-party Xbox Game Studio games coming that we know of. But getting back to the 100 million subscribers coming over to Xbox Game Pass, if you just also think about the fact that they have Xbox Cloud Gaming, which is going to be accessible to literally anybody who has a phone. You're going to have people on there that will want to check out a lot of these games coming out from Xbox Game Studios. And once they realize that they can literally just sign up and play these games via the cloud on their phone, a lot of people are probably going to go ahead and try that. And then you also think about the Xbox Series S. The price of that console, the ability to hit 120 FPS with Call of Duty games and other first-person shooters, prominent first-person shooters. People are going to want to pick up that console as an impulse buy, sign up to Xbox Game Pass, and play a lot of these games. Then this is where I kind of disagree with Michael Pachter here, where he says that their future vision is to eliminate the console, because we saw this a couple of months ago. And this is from Pav Bardawa. He was talking about cloud gaming. He's a senior global product manager, and he also talks about how it all fits in with consoles. And he says here, some people are always going to love playing on consoles, having a console in their living room to download and have that experience. I love consoles. This is just another route, another option to open up gaming to other people. It's not that one is a detriment to the other. This is more of a rising tide, and it's a really good place to be and to offer all these different opportunities. There's still PC, and there will be new form factors that come out in the future. Consoles are beloved, and cloud gaming is just a great alternative. So if you believe what Pav is saying here, you can see that the mindset of Xbox isn't to eliminate the console. And honestly, why would they? This generation has really proven that consoles are still very prominent with how many people want them. The demand is so high, and they're able to sell millions and millions and millions of Xboxes without having console exclusivity. So they've done a couple of things this generation. They've opened up this ecosystem. They've given access to as many people as possible, more than any other video game company out there right now, or at least in particular their main competition, which is going to be PlayStation and even Nintendo. They are able to, on top of that, sell dedicated hardware without locking exclusivity to it and getting people to be excited for that dedicated hardware. So from that, the way that consumers are purchasing these consoles, I would say consoles are here for at least another generation, if not even maybe 2 generations. So it's a pretty big claim by Michael Pachter, but honestly, I kind of agree with him. I think they will hit 100 million at some point. Xbox is playing the long game here, so people really love to focus on 2022 right now with no first-party Xbox Game Studios games. The entire gaming industry, if you look at all the financial reports, the spending has gone down, but some of the big things that have offset the decrease in the revenues that these companies have been making, specifically Xbox, has been the subscription services. Xbox knows what they're doing, and once the Activision Blizzard deal closes, once they can start getting a lot of those games right away into the service, you're going to see a huge uptake in Xbox Game Pass, people jumping in and playing right away. So it's very exciting to see the future of this, and the more people that subscribe to Xbox Game Pass, the more quality content that is going to come onto the service. But that's it for me, guys. What are your thoughts on this? Do you agree with Michael Pachter about Xbox Game Pass reaching 100 million members? And do you think the Activision Blizzard deal is going to close this year? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here, you liked what you saw, consider hitting that subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video.